The third building that Henry Huddleston Rogers built for the town of Fairhaven was the town hall. The town hall was actually a gift of his wife, Abby Rogers, and Abby was quite ill as the completion of this building was going on. She was suffering from cancer, and she died just shortly after the building was dedicated. The cornerstone for the town hall was laid on May 30th, 1892. Directly across the street, construction was still being done on the Millicent Library. So both the town hall and the library were being built about the same time, 1892 to 1893. The architect for the town hall and most of the other Rogers buildings was Charles Brigham from Watertown, Massachusetts. Brigham was the designer of some buildings in Boston, the wings of the Massachusetts State House, the Christian Science Church in Boston, the Second Advent Church. He was a very well-known New England architect, and Rogers gave him a free hand to design whatever he wanted. Here in Fairhaven, Brigham selected different European styles of architecture for each one of his buildings. So the town hall is a French Gothic-style building. It has a red tile roof, copper trim, lots of ornamental terracotta work. A lot of European craftsmen were brought to America to work on this building and other buildings that Rogers was having built in Fairhaven. Italian stone cutters, wood carvers, all of these people worked to make some of the most beautiful buildings you'll see in all of New England. The town hall was built to house all of the town's government offices in one building. Before this time, town meeting was held at various halls, the Phoenix Hall, the old Academy building. If you were serving in public office, you often did your town business out of your personal office. The town clerk worked out of home or out of a business office. One town clerk, Levi Jenny, had an office on Union Wharf. He was our first town clerk in 1812, and in 1815, there was a hurricane that blew his office off the wharf into the harbor, and we lost the first 3 years of our town records. So Henry built a town hall as a big, safe, secure building to bring all of these town offices together. Until 1964, our police station was in the cellar of this building, with a little jail with 3 cells with iron bars. Also in the cellar was an apartment where the custodian and his family lived to take care of the building. Rogers School and Fairhaven High School also originally had apartments where the custodian's family would live right inside the building. Henry had his own office here in the town hall too. It's the assessor's office and the veterans agent's office. He was appointed superintendent of streets in 1896, and he let his office be used by the young Fairhaven Improvement Association to hold its meetings. The Improvement Association still meets in the town hall today. Besides the town offices on the lower floors, we have this beautiful auditorium on the second floor. This has been used over the years for plays, for dances, for concerts. All sorts of social events have taken place in the auditorium. During the 1940s, there was a summer stock theater here that featured key actors from Broadway and from Hollywood who starred in the lead roles in some of the summer theater productions here. Buster Keaton has been on stage here, Jackie Cooper, Joan Blondell, and hundreds of people would come during the summer season to watch plays here. The most famous person ever to stand on the stage here in the Town Hall Auditorium, though, was Mark Twain, Rogers' friend. Twain delivered the dedication speech on the day that the town hall was dedicated, February 22nd, 1894. And when he gave that speech, he praised Abby and Henry for giving a gift like this while they were still alive, instead of leaving money in their wills to build it after they were dead. He said, if you do it when you're alive, it's really done and well done, but no one's ever known a dead man to try and do even the least simple thing without making a botch of it. Truth is, dead men ought to lie still, keep quiet, and try to behave. Mark Twain crossed the street and visited the Millicent Library after his speech here, and he ended up giving some gifts to the library of autographed books and other memorabilia. The town hall has served us well. It still serves us today. It's the centerpiece of the town, and it has beautiful clock in the tower, an 1893 Seth Thomas clock that rings the hour every hour just as it did starting in 1894. The clock in the tower is now electrified, but for 110 years it had to be wound by hand. Once a week, someone would climb up into the clock tower and crank a drum that lifted a weight up the whole length of the tower, and that weight would run the clock for 7 days, and then you'd have to go up there and crank it up again. After 110 years, the fellow who was winding the clock decided that he was too tired to keep doing it. He hadn't wound it all 110 years. But the town decided that they would disconnect the winding mechanism and hook up an electric motor. And that was fine for about 6 months. And then the motor burnt out. It was 20 past 11 for about a year in town. Now it's hooked up to its second motor, and the clock is still running and now chiming the hour every hour again, as it has since the beginning. In 1964, the police department moved out of the building. The new police and fire station was built on Washington Street, and now other offices are downstairs where the police station used to be. In the early 1990s, an elevator was installed in the building in order to make the auditorium handicap accessible. And when that elevator was put in, they had to take out the little jail cells that were still in the cellar being used as a closet. So those aren't here anymore. We can't throw anybody in jail in the town hall. Over the last 20 years or so, there's been a lot of restoration work done to the town hall. It started in the auditorium. The woodwork had once been painted over in here. It was a grayish tan color. And starting about 1993, 1994, the town hall was restored. The woodwork was stripped and refinished, so all the beautiful oak shows again. The walls and ceilings in the auditorium were repainted. New curtains were hung on the stage, and chandeliers were put up to replace the ones that had been taken down in the 1950s. Outside the building, the roof was repaired, windows have been fixed, terracotta work has been replaced or repaired, and money from the Massachusetts Historical Commission and other grant sources has been used to keep up this building so it looks as beautiful today as it did when Henry built it.